The Weedsman Podcast. ChristopherMedia.net.
Ever wish you could make your Monday go a little bit smoother? Here's a pro tip. You can order online to dodge the line and kick off your week with free coffee Mondays. Every Monday in September and October, Dunkin' Rewards members can get a free medium hot or iced coffee with any purchase. And you get to earn points to spend on even more free Dunkin'. Not a member? Join Dunkin' Rewards on the app and get even more Dunkin' deals. Nothing beats Dunkin' Rewards. The New York Jets and the New York Giants run on Dunkin'. Limit 1 per member per Monday. Additional terms may apply. Exclusions may apply. Participation may vary. Limited time offer.
Christopher Media. Let's make some noise. From Asthma Studios near Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, man.
It's the Weedsman Podcast.
I have no idea what's going on.
And now,
you have smoked yourself retarded.
Here are the Weedsmen.
You want to get high?
Welcome to the Weedsman Podcast. I'm Chris.
I'm Aaron. I'm unprepared. What are we going to tell you? It's the news is crazy. I don't want to talk about the news.
What a couple of stoners.
I just want
to
mention that the news is fucking fucked up.
Right. This week we recommend smoking a lot more weed.
Yeah, we got something to look forward to, right? Like, fuck you. I don't think Apple software. I think they're rebelling against Microsoft. I think they're finally coming to a head,
making it not play nice with each other anymore.
Nobody's playing nice anymore. You see, Google and now Samsung has piled on for going after Apple for their outdated text technology.
What do you mean?
Well, Apple likes to put it out, they like to have the image that having a blue text bubble is exclusive and that, green is just aspirational, right? Mm-hmm. That the people who know, use Apple products and when they text each other, it's all blue bubbles. And I get it. I fall prey to it too. We've talked about, we have Apple products. They make good hardware. It's user friendly. And I admit, when I get a green bubble, I'm like, ooh, okay. So you're one of those people, right? Not that it means anything except for they're a person who's
this Luddite
doesn't buy an iPhone, prefers an Android. But I have a friend
Why don't you just send me a letter?
I have a friend who, when this conversation comes up, he's always like, I like Android. I'm an adult. I like control over the things that I own. I like to own hardware and have control over the software that I put on it. I'm like, okay, yeah, you make some very good points.
What can you not control about an Apple?
I am an adult who wants to have a phone that I don't have to think much about and just does what I want it to. There's a lot, Apple has a lot more restrictive control over. You can choose which operating system to even run on really all Androids are the same. I mean, it's not like you can run all Android software on any any Android based phone. There's still some hardware restrictions, I'm sure. But yeah, ultimately, what would I want to do with another phone that I can't do with an iPhone? I don't know. I haven't run.
What are we missing out on?
If I was running into those problems where I'm like, gee, I wish I could do this, but unfortunately. But anyway, so this was all just to say so Google had an ad campaign that Samsung has now doubled down on, going against iPhone, saying the whole reason that this green bubble, blue bubble division is happening, it's like the Sneetches. Was it the Sneetches? They had the star-bellied variety?
Sneetches.
Yeah, what were the other ones then? Just non-star-bellied?
I forget.
Well, I can see why they're not special.
I know the star-belly Sneetches lived on the beaches.
Yeah.
That's all I remember.
Was that but they were the part of a faction that was going up against another faction of Sneetches. Anyway, I think I might be getting confused.
Sneetches are beaches.
Yeah, so the green bubble, blue bubble thing, the whole reason that iPhone has blue bubbles is, I guess, because it's using still outdated technology that Android phones have upgraded to. I don't know what the difference is.
So that's their new tactic? They're going to shame the blue bubble?
Faster texting.
They're like, listen, the blue bubbles are just out of touch.
Again,
and the
like,
green bubbles are where it's at.
I don't know what I don't know, right? I'm ignorant. Maybe someday, though, I'll start bumping up against things about an iPhone that I'm like, gee.
If your green bubble is so high and mighty, why can't it come down? Why can't it punch down?
We communicate
and join
a
our
lot.
Blue bubbles?
We communicate a lot with our Apple devices, right? And at no point was I like, man, this is slow.
Right, man. I
Like,
wish this went
what is
a
going on?
nanosecond quicker.
Yeah, or I couldn't get what? Like pictures, GIFs, videos, links. I don't know. Like, what is the what? I mean, apparently, I don't know. I guess the compression for photos is better, or when you send. I think when you send pictures from an iPhone to a Android device, it's compressed a lot more. Whereas if the iPhone was on the same network as the Android phones were using, then it wouldn't have to.
Getting a lossless picture.
Yeah, so you're sending crunchy photos to people who are on Android.
Well, they're the ones with the inferior operating system. If their technology is so great, why does it have to compress the photo? Why can't it just take the whole regular photo?
No, that's the thing. Like, it's actually the newer technology that Android's using, where you don't have to compress the photo. But because it's coming from an iPhone, iPhone still compresses it because it's using outdated technology. It's really on the end of the iPhone at that point.
I just find that highly suspect. Well, the reason it's green is because it's better. Your tiny blue bubbles can't comprehend our massive green bubbles. I'm hearing the knick-knack. Your puny blue bubbles cannot comprehend our massive green bubbles. Our technology is far superior to your tiny blue bubbles.
Our green Android bubbles can compress data at a much more efficient rate than your puny blue bubbles. We laugh at them and then piss on them.
Yes.
Right, Air?
Gouging expletives into the side of an automobile is a sign of respect where we come from. Yeah! Your puny Apple operating system cannot keep up with your human brain.
Yeah, so Samsung has released a new video in support of Google's hashtag Get the Message campaign, which calls for Apple to adopt RCS, or Rich Communication Services. Isn't that the restless cock syndrome?
Right.
Corolla wishes that somebody would get some restless cock syndrome on his ex. So the cross-platform protocol pitched as a successor to SMS that adopts many of the features found in modern messaging apps, like Apple's own iMessage. Okay, so that's the difference. There's iMessage, which is what we use when we message each other on Apple devices. And in that, we don't have to compress anything, and everything's encoded and all that shit. You get all the bells and whistles. When Android users are messaging each other, they are using RCS, or restless cock syndrome, to message each other, again at a uncompressed rate, and probably all secure and all that shit. When the two message back and forth, it's SMS. So that's why the compression. That's why it has to take photos and squash them. The video entitled Green Bubble, Blue Bubbles Want to Be Together. They are together. I can show you green bubbles and blue bubbles. They don't fight.
Yeah.
I get green bubble messages and I send blue bubble messages back, and they're perfectly understood. I don't need a translator app for them.
Yeah.
I think it's all done. All that's done inside the magical box in my hand. So really, I mean, they just went down different paths, right? But now you want them to join you. Apple's not complaining because they know that blue bubble text people are fucking snobs.
Yes.
And the whole reason
our blue bubbles don't want to be with your green bubbles.
And the Android people,
you'll give us phone aids.
The whole reason for this campaign is so that they can commonize it so that they don't have to feel inferior, so that they can sell more phones. Obviously, we're joking about this, and it's kind of ridiculous. But the fear is real. There are like not just a few weirdos out there, fucking millions of people out there are probably going, I would buy an Android because they look like some cool phones, but I don't want to have to text my text group, my friends on whatever, and be the only one with a green bubble.
Oh, the green bubble is a sign. It's a sign of derision.
Right.
I have several fantasy
Especially if you
football
had-
chats where there's one guy who's thanks to John for fucking up the iMessage.
Which is great, and I love that. But I think there's legit like real consequences too, or even like somebody goes from blue to green. You're like, what happened?
Oh, what happened, dude? Oh, I got a new
are
phone.
you and Paul okay? Like, are you guys? I just saw that you got a new phone and it's not an iPhone, so you like stepped down to an Android. So
Yeah.
like, how's it going at work?
Yeah, right.
Are you?
It's your new job?
Yeah, like,
You're fired?
is everything all right? Did I see an Uber sticker in your car? Is everything okay? Gavin Newsom is coming for our peeps. This guy, is he running for president?
He will never win. He would get
Yeah,
he would get destroyed outside of the coasts.
yeah.
He does not connect with anybody. The stuff he talks about, people from the Midwest, like, huh? Those are your problems?
I just know that he has a lot of support for like people who are like, you need to. I think they're trying to get him out of this state. That's what's really happening.
Like, when you say the phrase coastal elite, he's definitely one of the names that comes to mind.
I think there's a lot of people in California that are like, yeah, he'd be great in Washington.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Please. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, please let him run for president.
Right.
Get him the fuck out of here.
Right, because that's ideal, right? Because then he's just going to, like, send stuff back to his home state. He doesn't have to be there and, like, fuck things up.
Right.
He can get out of the way of governance.
Yeah, there's now something between him and the state of California.
Yeah, it's like a buffer.
Yeah.
Right? He still cares. He sends care packages every now and then, a little bit of pork. Probably a lot of pork. He's coming after, is he really coming for people's peeps? And also, do we really care?
Those are disgusting.
Yeah.
I've always hated
You know what? I had a root beer. No, I'm sorry. A Dr. Pepper flavored peep recently that was not bad.
It's not the flavor. It's the texture.
Right?
I like marshmallows. I do not like marshmallows with a crunchy coating out.
Oh, see, I don't even
sugary coating on the outside.
I'm not big on marshmallows. I just like the coating, that crunchy coating on the outside.
Like,
that is it's the
I'll
closest you
have a
can
s'more
get to
all day long.
It's the closest you can get to like a prepackaged fried marshmallow, right? It almost gets that like if you do a marshmallow right, if you cook it right,
No, it's not warm.
you get it all over. No, I know it's never going to be warm.
It doesn't have that toast. No.
Can you put Peeps in the do they blow up like
Yes.
regular? They blow up
yeah,
like
they
regular
blow up in the microwave. Absolutely.
marshmallows?
So why is Gavin coming for the Peeps? What's he doing?
Precisely the pink and purple Peeps. Which,
Is this a food dye thing?
yeah, it must be. Just all food should be clear, right? Just get it over with.
Really?
We've been doing this by
We tried that with Pepsi in the early 90s. It didn't go so well.
No, I mean, look, in our childhoods, it was Red Dye number 9, right? Wasn't it number 9? Or am I thinking of the Beatles song? But it was some like yellow number 5. There were like things in food dyes that they found out was like, not so good to eat. And they phased it out. The blue M&Ms for a while went away because they quietly took them away because there was, I don't know, whatever fucking cancerous agent or whatever the fuck in there.
That's true. I know for when we were a kid, remember they made a big deal of the red M&M coming back?
Yeah, it was.
'Cause it was gone for a while. Because what was it? Red dye number 5 caused cancer. Or
I
some
think
shit?
I think it was red number 5. Yeah, maybe that is but it was with some specific number of red color dye that whoever handles that, the FDA, the USDA, I don't know.
FDA, I believe.
The CDC. California Food Safety Act bars the manufacture, sale, or distribution in the state of any items containing red dye number 3. What red dyes will we have left? Let's see. Potassium bromate? Bromate? Isn't that what they keep the combs in?
Right.
Brominated vegetable oil. What is this brominated process? Or propylparaben. Anything with propyl is probably not good. The dye is carcinogen.
Is it, though?
Is English your first language?
Because this is the state that also puts a warning on coffee that says, hey, it may cause cancer. Like, if you buy coffee in California, it says,
why?
like, the state of California. Yeah, it says, like, the state of California wants us to tell you that coffee could cause cancer.
Can't they just blanket, like, as you enter the state, you know, or if you're flying in on a plane, we'll be landing in Burbank soon, and the state of California wants to know that living on the planet Earth can possibly cause cancer. It's been known to cause cancer as many as 10% of the population.
I don't know why it took this long for, like, right, they're all about, like, California right now, they're all on this climate change, Earth crusade. And part of the trope of California since we've been alive is like, that's where all the hippies live. Save the Earth and this and that and blah, blah, blah. When I went to LA in 2004, one of the memories I have is looking at this is in 2004, so we're talking like 20 years ago. And they've definitely been on this Earth crusade for a long time. Looking at the Los Angeles skyline, and you could see when it went from brown to blue.
Yeah.
Like, in the state where fucking the air is so terrible, you can see the pollution. They claim to be, like, the leaders in, like, we're saving the Earth.
I mean, you could literally see the transition in the sky. Like, somebody took a Bob Ross painting and just put a doo-doo streak across it.
There was a part of the skyline where it was like brown, and then
it's gotten a lot better since then. I think you were probably there at the peak of it. I was there probably maybe a little bit earlier than that, but yeah, that was probably about the worst that the smog was. They've done a lot but yeah, I don't know. Like, dude, if the weather keeps up like it is, like, they're saying it's not too far out until no, we're not talking about news. This is all ugly news shit. We're going to talk about frivolous stories that don't matter, like Peeps. Oh, not just Peeps, hot tamales. You like hot tamales? Get them red hot. Yeah, just got them for sale. Yeah, it's one of those candies that...
I've never been big on the hot tamales, Mike and Ike's. Never been big on those.
Yeah, what is that? Like, what do you call it? Just a jelly bean type candy?
Yeah, like
it's all
sugar capsules.
The worst, Good and Plenty. That's the worst one.
Same thing. It's the same family.
Because it's all jelly. Well, it's jelly bean texture, but it's all flavored with
licorice.
It's anise or anise oil.
Anise.
Yeah, here's a list actually because we have Halloween coming up, talking about candy.
Ooh, a piece of candy.
Here's a list of the most hated Halloween candy.
Is it in any order?
Let's see. This is the most hated. These are all probably pretty popular. Here's the top 10 candies to send somebody to the dentist. I mean, the first one's obvious. I mean, it's right in the name. It's literally in the name.
Charleston Chew?
No, Jawbreaker.
Oh.
Jawbreaker, Jolly Rancher, Fife Dog Bit O' Honey, Starburst, Tootsie, let me see that Tootsie Roll, Laffy Taffy, Snickers, Atomic Fireballs, Butterfingers. That's Butterfingers.
What? Really?
Oh, yeah. It's the hidden assassin. Butterfingers is coming for your fillings. You don't think it. You're like, oh, it's all soft and buttery and got just a little bit of wafer inside, but that shit is fucking compressed like slate, and it's gummy, and it will fuse your teeth together if you let it. Blow Pops and Milk Duds. What? How come number 10 is Blow Pops and Milk Duds?
Blow duds.
Blow dudes?
Milk duds can get stuck in your teeth for sure.
Yeah, but how did they tie for number 10? Because there's no relation to Milk Duds and Blow Pops. Those are two vastly different candies.
Well, Blow Pops, you're definitely always biting on it, right? Yeah. Once you get to the gum part.
I need candy, bubblegum and taffy. Get my way, punk, you're gonna get your ass beat.
Yeah, it's the most hated Halloween candy. The worst Halloween candy. Oh, here we go. Here's a ranked. Like, what does it start with? It's all like compressed into one paragraph.
What's that with Android?
Yeah, it must have been. Lemonheads are at the bottom of this. Lemonheads are great, man.
Lemonheads are terrible.
Oh, come on.
Why would you want a candy that tastes like lemon?
Lemonheads are awesome. Oh, because lemons... Okay.
Lemon to me is like a garnish.
All right. You know what? I'm going to get some Lemonheads on the way home. You can still get... It's like a fucking quarter for those little boxes of Lemonheads. Still a fucking quarter. Well, it was a dime when I was a kid. It's a lyric, candy, it's cool on the way home from school. Alright. Double Bubble it comes in next at 10% of people. So the Double Bubble is the worst. That's a shitty gum.
It is the worst gum.
Double Bubble is like you took the stick that came with the baseball card and you rolled it up into a little barrel shape.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's got a weird and fleeting flavor. Laffy Taffy. Laffy Taffy's good.
Yeah. Why
people don't like Laffy Taffy?
Why is Laffy Taffy hated?
I don't know. Smarties? Are you fucking kidding me? Jelly beans. I'm just working my way up the list now.
No.
People hate jelly beans? I'm surprised Tootsie Rolls.
I like candy. Bubblegum, damn it.
We're actually getting worse as we go
Well, yeah, is it supposed
through
to be
this
hated?
list. Yeah, so more people hate Tootsie Rolls than jelly beans. That makes sense. Even more people than that, 13%.
See, I like Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah, Tootsie Rolls are like whatever. That's the last resort. Maybe if they have the flavored ones, but original Tootsie Rolls, let me see that Tootsie Roll hit the bottom of the garbage can.
I mean, I'm not diving for them, but I'm not like, oh no, Tootsie Rolls. Like, I'll eat them.
Yeah.
Like, I like chocolate.
Yeah, but it's not really chocolate, right? Like, what is it even?
Chocolate flavored.
Kind of. Wax bottles.
Yeah, those are
coming in 13%. Mentos at 14% of people saying Mentos are the worst.
Yeah, they got to bring the commercials back.
But not like, I don't know, maybe this is like because they didn't become popular until I was a teen, but I don't remember them ever being deposited in the old Halloween sack.
You had to get the fruit ones.
Mentos?
The mint ones are terrible.
Let's see, where am I on this? Cadbury cream eggs. 14% of people report Cadbury cream.
It's just terrible. Also, who gets them at Halloween?
Yeah, that's an Easter thing. That's not a Halloween thing.
Yeah, those things are gross.
No, they're awesome.
They're fucking
delicious. Red Hots. I think we already talked about that. Well, we said hot tamales, right? That was what was using the.
Well, I mean,
it's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
The Red Hots is more cinnamon flavored, isn't it?
I suppose.
Maybe it's different brands. Almond Joys. Almond Joys are great. 16% well, I guess this is probably kids that. I hope this is kids that they're
I take
asking.
the almonds out, or I just bite the bullet and eat the fucking.
You don't like Mounds?
Oh, Mounds. No, that's what I said. I prefer Mounds over Almond Joy.
Yeah.
But in a pinch, I'll eat the fucking almond.
Mounds has the dark chocolate too, isn't that?
Hell yeah, it does.
Yeah, it's dark chocolate,
and
no
coconut.
nuts.
It's fucking delicious.
Yeah. I still prefer the almond joy because I like the almond in there.
So you get the
Breaks
almond
up
out
the
of there.
You just fucking eject that shit and eat it without suck the chocolate off and spit it out.
No, like I said, I'll eat it.
Yeah. Dots. They still make dots. They still put it on paper.
Oh, like the candy dots?
Yeah, like, isn't that what I'm thinking of? Or am I thinking of something different? No, dots are like the little, they're like jujubes, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was thinking of the ones, remember the, like, just the sugar candy that's on a paper.
If you're too broke to buy jujubes, here's dots.
Yeah. We used to eat those all the time, but I think they probably stopped making them because they're like, hey, people are eating paper. Branches pumpkin. Oh, the little, like, waxy pumpkins. You know, it's like candy corn.
What?
Yeah. It's like candy corn, but it's a pumpkin, you know.
Oh, aren't they made out of, like, white chocolate?
No, it's just, it's like the same kind of waxy material. Dude, look it up. You'll see this thing and you go, oh yeah, I've seen one of those and eaten one. It's like you took the same syrupy kind of waxy material that they make a candy corn out of, and they just make it into shape of a pumpkin.
Oh yeah, fuck these things. These things are gross.
Hot tamales, fire and ice. What's that? And what's the fucking ice?
Probably mint.
Who wants that shit?
Yeah.
Previously mentioned Peeps. 21% of people say Peeps are garbage.
Yeah. 21% of people are right.
22% of people say Bitto honey. Get that shit out of the bag.
Well, yeah, because you dig it out of your teeth.
Yeah, and also, everybody who liked Bitto honey is dead.
Also true.
Let's see, what is this? The top 4? Or worst 4, I guess? The bottom 4? Jawbreakers. Really? That many people hate jawbreakers? Maybe that many people have just had a bad experience. I think once you're bitten by a jawbreaker, once bitten,
toy shy.
Not gonna get bit again.
Once you get bit,
fool me once,
not get bit again.
Shame on me. Fool me twice, won't get fooled again.
You can't get fooled again.
That's how the song goes. The top 2, hot tamales, previously mentioned. Agree, garbage.
I wouldn't say that's like number 2.
And the number 1 worst, or however,
give it to me. I know what it is.
You know what it is.
Fuck yeah.
Everyone hates the pumpkins. I'm surprised that there's so much separation between the Bratches pumpkins and the candy corn.
Candy corn.
Candy corn.
Why is there such love for candy corn? It's terrible.
This is the worst. This is a list of the worst candies, and it went that.
But there is still candy corn is beloved. So and I don't know why.
Yeah, only 36% of people said candy corn is the worst, which I don't know. I guess you could say that means that there's almost like 70. There's 70 more percent
of people are like, "Yay, candy corn."
There's almost 70.
Fuck that. Fuck those 64% of people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it exactly works that way, but yes, essentially, the rest of the people are okay with candy corn.
It tastes like wax. It doesn't taste like corn. And why would you want a candy to taste like corn? You notice how there's like no other vegetable themed candies?
Well, that's a good point.
There's no like candied broccoli.
Yeah.
There's no chocolate covered tomatoes. There's a reason for that.
The Weedsman Podcast.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Ever wish you could make your Monday go a little bit smoother? Here's a pro tip. You can order online to dodge the line and kick off your week with free coffee Mondays. Every Monday in September and October, Dunkin' Rewards members can get a free medium hot or iced coffee with any purchase. And you get to earn points to spend on even more free Dunkin'. Not a member? Join Dunkin' Rewards on the app and get even more Dunkin' deals. Nothing beats Dunkin' Rewards. The New York Jets and the New York Giants run on Dunkin'. Limit 1 per member per Monday. Additional terms may apply. Exclusions may apply. Participation may vary. Limited time offer. Ever wish you could make your Monday go a little bit smoother? Here's a pro tip. You can order online to dodge the line and kick off your week with free coffee Mondays. Every Monday in September and October, Dunkin' Rewards members can get a free medium hot or iced coffee with any purchase. And you get to earn points to spend on even more free Dunkin'. Not a member? Join Dunkin' Rewards on the app and get even more Dunkin' deals. Nothing beats Dunkin' Rewards. The New York Jets and the New York Giants run on Dunkin'. Limit 1 per member per Monday. Additional terms may apply. Exclusions may apply. Participation may vary. Limited time offer.
ChristopherMedia.net.
The Weedsman Podcast.
Okay, I don't remember where we were. A little bit of edit here.
Candy corn's terrible.
And,
that's where we were.
Yeah, I think I might be having a little bit of a panic attack.
Oh wow!
Like it's kind of like tunnel vision. You know, like tunnel vision isn't so much that like your vision goes all the way black in your periphery. Mm-hmm. It's that it's really difficult to focus on anything else. So like. It's still a little bit, but like for a minute there while we were going through the list of candy, like I could look at you and I could see your eyes and everything else is a blur. And that was it.
Oh, wow. Dude, just having trouble focusing. No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think maybe it was just getting really high off of that. I haven't been smoking like actual flower, really. I've been just vaping.
We had nice
and
old-fashioned.
my tolerance might be lower than it usually is because I've been trying to do more like wait until the evening to smoke instead of like wake and bake. So I don't know. Hey, it can happen to the most experienced of stoners. Sometimes shit gets on top of you.
No, I remember a few months ago during my other podcast, like sitting there going like, starting to get like short of breath and like going like,
Yeah.
oh, man, what's going on? It's in like, but sitting there thinking like, well, I've been hitting my weed pen like nonstop, like for like 2 fucking hours.
Yeah.
It probably might have something to do with it.
Yeah, I think that's what, like, it's getting really high, and which can definitely, getting high will lower your blood sugar. We know that.
Get hot, you get short of breath.
And then, so that already can make you, maybe a little bit hazy.
I'm getting ready to go through that here in a couple of weeks because I'm going to be flying, and I got my flying meds.
Yeah.
Which is funny. I bought how times have changed. I bought a pack of 200 milligram edibles like a year ago, and I took half of them last November, and I'm going to take the other half this November. Like I still have it.
Yeah.
But I remember
you used to fly a lot.
Yeah, but I remember trying to figure out my flying dose a couple times, being like, oh no, it's too much.
No.
And you just have to sit there and you got to ride it out. You start sweating and then you get short of breath. But as long as you if you do the old breathing exercises of in through your nose, out through your mouth, you get through it. Eventually, the sweating stops.
You know what they call box breath? I think it's like 4 count. You breathe in for a count of 4. Mm-hmm. You hold it for a count of 4. You exhale for a count of 4. You hold it again for 4, and then you do that. I mean, really, you do that for like 30 seconds, and your heart rate starts coming down.
There's a similar breathing exercise for golfing.
Yeah.
For when you're in your setup, breathe in for 1, 2, 3, hold 4, exhale for 5, 6, 7. So same principle, probably just shorter.
Yeah. And I think part of this, like, just acknowledging that, like, you're feeling panicky, for me at least, usually helps to calm everything down.
Yeah,
because at first it's like, wait, why am I not seeing stuff correctly? Why do I feel like kind of lightheaded? Why do I feel like I'm going to pass out? And then at that point, most people just get like scared. They don't understand, and then panic sets in, and then you're in full-on panic attack.
Well, the couple that I've had that's really what's pulled me out of them is real. Oh, this is panic attack. Start breathing. Like the first one, I realized I started panicking, and I realized, oh, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
First thing I did instinct was run outside, get out, get to fresh air, and I just started breathing in just massive amounts. Of fresh air, and within like 30 seconds, I popped out of it. Like everything slowed down. I could feel my heart trying to pound out of my chest, but like the panic went away. The sweating stopped. Like
That's why, especially in panic situations like that, whatever you use, where you do the box breath or the golfing technique, anything that you can do to control your breath, right? Because the immediate response is to like you're describing, like, I just want to take in a lot of fresh air. Well, what most people do in that situation is hyperventilate because they're trying to breathe harder,
But I at least knew in that moment, hyperventilating, trying to do it fast makes it worse.
Yeah,
like I was doing slow.
Right. Slow count. Yeah. So we're turn the lights down. We're doing Weedsman After Dark.
Yeah, nice little vibe in here.
Yeah. I turned down the brightness on my.
I took my pants off.
You're like, Aaron's disoriented. Now's my chance. There's a big recall of candy, actually.
Oh, no. What candy?
And this is, it was, let's see, Cocoa Candy's Rolling Candy.
What?
Yeah, it had like, it looks like a little roll-on thing, I think it's just like a sucker, like in a different.
It's like a lollipop in a roll-on container.
Kinda, and you're just supposed to like roll it on your tongue or whatever. But unfortunately, the thing
sounds phallic.
Like a kid died, The thing.
What?
It popped out and the kid choked on it.
Oh, it's a got choking hazard.
Yeah, which is horrible. But this story, this is it. I found it. The worst opening paragraph, sentence, whatever, of any article ever. Just in time for Halloween, over 70 million units of popular candy have been recalled after the death of a New York State girl. Okay. What's just in time for Halloween?
Right.
The recall? The recall is just in time for holiday? The death of the young girl is just in time for holiday? Is that what's just in time for Halloween?
Right.
That's a horrible sentence, my man.
Nice editor.
Yeah, or lack thereof. This is Robert Welber. Oh, you were talking about...
remember when editors were supposed to catch mistakes or terrible writing or bad headlines?
Like, a glaring error of tone, right?
Look, I get it. It's a story about candy, but not all stories
like
about candy in October have to be related
verbal
to
equivalent.
Halloween.
If I said, hey, guess what? This girl died choking on candy in New York.
Just in time for Halloween.
Yeah, you'd be like, well, are you excited about it? Like, what the fuck? You're talking about air travel and your edibles that you have for that purpose.
Yes.
It made me think of, what was I was listening to an old Gilbert Gottfried's podcast. He was interviewing Robert Wool, and he said that he was talking to, I forget what he was in, that he was working with Jack Nicholson. And
Batman.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it was Batman. That's right. They were in Batman together.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, they were talking about something, and he said, I guess Robert had to go overseas for something, and Jack was telling him, "Here's how you travel with weed." He's like, "When I go over to Europe, I take some pot, I put it in an envelope, and I mail myself an anonymous fan letter. Dear Jack, heard you're going to be overseas for a while. Hope this tides you over. Sincerely, who gives a fuck?" So if they catch it, he's like, I don't know who the fuck. People send me all kinds of crazy shit. I can't be responsible. Now, these days, they have ways to track all that mail.
Yeah, they could track where it came from, but not if he drops it in like a fucking public mailbox.
I guess. I mean, they could, maybe. If he drops it in the middle of fucking nowhere. I mean, far away from
Unless
his
there's
house.
like a camera on the mailbox, they're not going to know.
But still, not a bad way.
As little as like within like 5 years, I used to work with this kid. Him and a bunch of we used to go to Vegas a few times a year, the old job I had. And he's like, yeah, me and a bunch of my friends are meeting up in Vegas, we're going to party. And he was talking about these people mailed all kinds of drugs to the hotel. Like, they mailed a bunch of weed. I'm like, my man, do they know, like, you could get weed in Vegas? Like, because I think it was...
Oh, this is recently, huh?
Yeah, I think it was, like, after weed was legal in Vegas. And, like, talking about they mailed, like, a bunch of, like, ecstasy and a whole bunch of shit to the hotel.
You can't get that at the shops.
Well, yeah, but I guess it all went fine. Like, they got to the hotel. Oh, yeah. Drugs got to the hotel.
Yeah, I'm sure.
The mail? Well, I guess you don't...
They can't check that. I mean,
Well, I guess the key is, because I learned this with when I did the Beer Nuts podcast here at Christopher Media, you don't use the mail. You use UPS. You use FedEx. They don't give a fuck. They're private businesses. They don't give a shit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you don't see it. You send it through DHL.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck.
Yeah, you don't use the United States Postal Service. You use somebody else.
Apparently, Bert Kreischer found out recently that his daughter smokes weed.
Has he seen his own stand-up? Of course your kids are going to end up being partiers. You are Van Wilder.
Yeah, that's right. He's the guy they based Van Wilder on. Literally.
Our next guest is a very funny and often shirtless performer. His new comedy special, Razzle Dazzle, is on Netflix now. Please welcome Bert Kreischer.
I figured he'd hit the gym if he always has his shirt off.
He goes to the gym.
That's a shirt you want to keep on, right? Where'd you get that shirt?
It was left after a threesome. I just picked it up. I was like, that dude, it worked for him. So.
How are you?
I am fantastic.
It's great to have you here. For those who are not familiar with your work, you have led an adventurous life.
We gotta find out what this is. This is
Yeah.
a 10-minute clip.
I'm a drunk Forrest Gump.
I can edit around
think that
something
was
in
odd.
post.
That's
too.
what I loved about it, that you did not realize that it was unusual to drink how much?
Maybe a vape pen. And you have a treat. Just wait. Anytime panic kicks in, the way weed'll happen, just go, hey, I got Kool-Aid. I love it. And,
he's talking about panicking on
If you want to sponsor me, Kool-Aid and Pop-Tarts, they give you the little skinny stick, 0 calories.
Oh, so you're mixing it in the plane. You're asking for liquid and, yeah.
Bro, I am so weird on a plane. Secret time. If I have to fart, I'll get one of those prepackaged coffee filters, shove it under my ass, and let it rip the whole flight.
Does that work?
100%.
Prepackaged coffee filter.
I could go for a coffee. I'm like,
oh, it's really like it's a package of coffee?
Yeah.
Like you could steep it.
that works. That totally works.
An excellent tip. I'm surprised Martha Stewart didn't share that one with us. So you, are you able, I know you have 2 teenage girls, like as a father, are you able to discipline them in any way? Like, can you tell them don't do something when you're...
Yeah, I'm actually, I'm not the dad you think I am. Like, I think people are like, I'm like, oh, you know, weed's cool and mushrooms. I am a very strict parent, overbearing. Like,
yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Georgia got caught smoking weed, Leanne Carter, and I was working. I was working on a TV show. I was at lunch. She texted me. She's like, caught Georgia smoking weed, and immediately I'm like, where did she get it? She's like, are you being serious? I was like, it's my weed?
Yeah. I got it from you, Dad.
Virgin weed. I got high-end, high blood pressure. I'm having panic attacks in the middle of the night thinking about death. It goes dark one day weed. Like, that's the weed I smoke. And so I light up. Now, sidebar, I'm having lunch with Snoop Dogg, okay? Swear to God. With the night that we hung out, last time we hung out where I made you give 25
so
grand.
he found out when he was
charity
with Snoop
charity
Dogg.
event, yeah, right.
I thought his daughter was smoking with Snoop Dogg.
This is my exact words as a parent. I said, this isn't over. I'm going to light her ass up. Tonight, this ends when she's crying. And I hung up. Not my best parenting moment.
Did that make your wife feel, like, reassured?
No, my wife was like, you have weed in the house? What did you expect?
Right.
Yeah.
We had an alcohol sponsor. They were stealing those from our podcast. Shout out to, I won't mention. Truly, it was a great sponsor. Now, oh, we lost them. So Snoop's sitting across from me. He hears me hang up, and he's like, problems on the home front? And I go, yeah, real bad. And he goes, can I ask? I go, my daughter got caught smoking weed. And Snoop's like, that's it? I go, she's 15,
and?
Snoop. And he goes,
man, I was 12.
okay.
Yeah.
And he goes, and you going to light her ass up? I was like, yeah. Until she cries. I was like, yeah. He goes, how old were you when you first smoked weed? I said, that's irrelevant. 14. And he goes, okay. Can I give you some parenting advice? One dad to another dad. And you forget he's a dad, right?
Yeah.
Like you think
Yeah.
he's just
He's got
Snoop.
kids.
Yeah.
I go, yeah, okay. And he goes,
He's like a grandfather.
Yeah.
don't be such a bitch. He goes, it ain't pills, it ain't powder, it's weed, man. And then Snoop Dogg says to me, you just upset because your daughter doesn't need you anymore. She's growing up. Right?
Wow.
And I'm sitting there like, what the f? Come on, Snoop. He goes, yeah, man, I ain't going to let that happen to my niece. Not today. You ain't going to light her up at all. You coming to my trailer, I'm going to get you high. You ain't making that call. And Jimmy, he got me so high in his trailer. Swear to God, I handed the joint to the mirror. And I think he's trying to kill me. Dave Chappelle FaceTimed us that night. It was the craziest night of my life. We might have ended up in a shower. My point is, Snoop's a great dad.
Wow.
It's a great story.
I'm with his wife. Like, you're surprised how? Why?
Yeah.
Example, my family. Like, I grew up, like, all my grandparents smoked, all my aunts and uncles smoked,
Oh, yeah.
dad smoked. So when I got caught smoking at like 15 years old, cigarettes, by the way. Like I run a weed podcast.
Oh, yeah,
that could be misconstrued. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So when I showed up smoking cigarettes at 15, guess who didn't trip out? My parents, because they were like, he's seen like every adult
exactly
smoke cigarettes like his entire childhood. You know, my dad quit when I was like, I think 8 or 9, but still everyone, so most of the adults in my life smoke. So yeah, I get. I don't understand people like that. Your kid, you know, if you come home every day after work and you have a fucking highball or whatever, and then your kid gets caught in the liquor cabinet at 15, why would you be shocked? They see you have a drink every fucking night after you come home from work.
Yeah.
It is like that old commercial. I learned it from watching you. Kids emulate adults. That's why I was always weird about when you know, when you're younger, your friends are younger and they're younger parents. I was always weird about when we'd be smoking weed and people's kids would be around. I mean, they weren't my kids, but I'd be like, you know, like especially when they, you know, especially if they were like over like 4 and they could like comprehend what was going on. I've always felt weird about it.
Yeah, they have no business being in the room for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they remember that shit. I had a friend who used to tell me about. He was a long time. He was probably smoked more weed than I did ever. But there was a long stretch. He's like, at first I didn't want to smoke any weed because that's like he has memories of his parents like having people over and they're all hanging out smoking pot like it's nothing while he's playing with his Tonka trucks.
Yeah, I mean, I remember.
I don't know, and it's not like
they'd be like, "Well, they don't know what it is," and I'd be like, "I think at a certain point they do.
They know
you talking.
They know something's up, and they know when people aren't acting the way that they usually do."
Yeah, but again, they weren't my kids. Hey, pass that over.
But speaking of adults acting weird, Roger Waters is doing another tour. This one is he's calling it
the "I'm Out of Money" tour.
The Dark Side of the Moon Redux. Or I guess, how do you pronounce that? R-E-D-U-X? Is it?
Redux.
And this is, I guess he's got a memoir coming out that is called Dark Side of the Moon, Memoirs of a Lanky Prick. So I'm assuming that's self-depreciating, unless he is actually like, unless somebody else is the lanky prick.
Why is he doing Dark Side? Like, isn't he supposed to do...
yeah, The Wall is his big thing.
The Wall his project? Yeah.
Yeah, that was, like, the thing that he wrote most of, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, I guess he's... so, a lot of people... I guess seeing Roger Waters do this stuff is, like... He's going to have a good band, I'm sure. He usually does. I'm sure he puts on a good show. People came out to see him and didn't get what exactly they expected. To the point where a lot of people were walking out.
What?
So did he play any music at the beginning? Musician arrived 15 minutes late for his scheduled performance. Instead of launching into the hits, he didn't play any music. Waters began reading off his laptop passages from his yet-to-be-published memoir. Let's see. According to Will Hodgkinson, music critic for The Times, one story involved a duck that came to live in the family home. Another began promisingly as a memoir of Floyd's original leader, Syd Barrett, but revealed nothing more than that Barrett wrote a lot of songs and had an innocent air about him. According to the Daily Mail, the duck story lasted upwards of 20 minutes. And segued into Waters reading errant notes about his other pets once again
Andy Kaufman
from his laptop. He brought his laptop to his show. I mean, like, he plays
was this like performance art or some shit?
Big shows, right? Where was the show at again? London Palladium. That doesn't sound like a cozy spot.
Right.
That sounds like it's a fucking huge venue that tens of thousands of people come to. And these tickets are probably like hundreds of pounds. Neil McCormick, again, the music critic, wrote the entire show had an unrehearsed air with a tension exacerbated by Waters' schoolmasterly demeanor as he sternly brooked no interruption.
If you don't eat your meat, you can't have any pudding.
Yeah. Fuck off, Waters screamed at fans when heckled over his unexpected set list, meaning that he wasn't playing any music. At this point, many headed for the exits. Let's see. Later, as those in the audience privately wondered what they were seeing was real, Rogers admonished them, if I want to tell you stories, tell them in your own time to your own audience in your own fucking theater. By the way, if you can show constraint and stop shouting again. This is just babbling.
Right.
Let's see. I'm scanning ahead to see if did he play any music? Apparently, there was a 20-minute film at the start of the show.
Yeah, it's like a piece of performance art. It's like,
see,
buddy,
coverage from
they're there because you were in Pink Floyd.
So apparently, there's a website called Brain Damage, which describes itself as a Pink Floyd news resource. It says, confirmed the evening went off as planned. The shows were always to be broken into two halves, with each lasting 50 minutes. The first was referred to as, quote, other stuff in show bills, while the second was titled Dark Side of the Moon Redux, which makes it pretty clear that the first half would be other stuff. Yeah, well, I don't think that reading is bullshit was the other. Like, if I thought it was other stuff, I would assume that, there's a lot of anniversary shows. So, like, the Breeders are going to come into your town and play for the 30th anniversary of Cannonball, right? Yeah. Or Last Splash, I mean. And so they're going to play all of Last Splash, an album that is 39 minutes and 42 seconds. And then they're going to want to play some other songs, right? Give people all that, their dollars worth.
Yeah, I saw...
they're going to throw in some other shit.
Are they going to,
that would be the other stuff. So they'll play some stuff off a pod, or they'll play a Pixies side, or whatever the fuck.
In 04, I think I saw Primus, and it was just Primus, and the first set was mixed bag of Primus songs, and the second set was Sailing the Seas of Cheese.
Right.
Right. It's fucking badass.
Exactly.
By the way, if you're looking to meet chicks, not to go to.
Not even ones with dreadlocks?
Like, if you were a gay dude, it was just sausage everywhere.
Yeah, so I think most people would assume that the other stuff meant other music. Other Pink Floyd music that is not contained within the Dark Side of the Moon.
Mm-hmm.
And what's with the Redux anyway?
Right.
You're gonna redo? Or you're gonna start fucking George Lucas in your shit?
Right.
I always intended to have a quote from Jabba the Hutt in this section. The band vetoed me on it. Where are they now? Nobody can say no. I'm remastering it with my original comments in the album. I thought over this fantastic synthesizer solo that we should have somebody just yelling nonsense. Maybe some helicopter noises.
Yeah. I'm going to read you
really
a story about
the drama
duck now.
Bill Watterson, we were just talking about him with the AI Calvin and Hobbes stuff.
Yes.
Apparently, he's got a new project that is going to be coming out soon.
Really?
And it's weird. It's called The Mysteries. And here's I'm going to share a picture with you here. Looks like, I don't know, some Igor-looking figure in the foreground.
Was it
looking...
It's a graphic novel.
Looking scared. And there's a thatch hut in the background, some dark woods. Let's see. It looks like it's illustrated. There's just some small kind of like a kid's book. So the knights set off into the misty forest. Year after year they searched. That's the only text on one side, and the other side is some grim-looking knights. These are cool little illustrations. I'm assuming that he did this all himself. He says it's a fable for grown-ups.
That could mean so many things.
Longtime kingdom is afflicted with unexplainable calamities. Hoping to end the torment, the king dispatches his knights to discover the source of the mysterious event. Years later, a single battered knight returns. Okay, I guess he's got a co-artist on this.
So this
John
is
Cash.
Listen,
Cash?
I'm still so loaded from Calvin and Hobbes. I can do what I want.
I can do whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally. I don't know who other than completists of Mr. Watterson. I don't know who this is for.
Nerds.
It's kind of because the art is interesting, but it's not really in a comic format, right? Meaning words overlaid on the images, speech bubbles, maybe some thought balloons, maybe some narration on there, all that shit. This is, if it's presented in the way that these digital excerpts are, on one side of the page, just text and not a lot of it, a couple sentences, and then the other side, a beautifully illustrated black and white picture. So it looks like an adult fantasy picture book that kind of reads like a kid's book. I don't know why the text is so sparse.
It looks like it's in the graphic novel type of...
Right, but that's what I'm saying. It's not formatted like a graphic novel, right? It's formatted like a kid's book, where there's a clear delineation between they go together, but the words are separate from the pictures. It's almost more like the experience of watching a silent movie. I'm just tired now. Panicking takes a lot of energy out of you.
Well, go to social media, find the show. Pretty much all we put on social media because it's. I don't know. I feel people find podcasts now. You don't need to. Like in the beginning, you had to do that, but now it's just like there's like Spotify, YouTube Music. They all just kind of like let you know, like with the push notifications. Apple's still the big player. But said all that to say, at the Basement 420 on all social media platforms. ChristopherMedia.net is where you go. It's got a PayPal button if you want to help the show out. And wherever you listen to the show, if you have the ability to rate and review, we would appreciate it. And I appreciate you for listening. Stay high.
Stay high.
Wish you could make your Monday go a little bit smoother? Here's a pro tip. You can order online to dodge the line and kick off your week with free coffee Mondays. Every Monday in September and October, Dunkin' Rewards members can get a free medium hot or iced coffee with any purchase. And you get to earn points to spend on even more free Dunkin'. Not a member? Join Dunkin' Rewards on the app and get even more Dunkin' deals. Nothing beats Dunkin' Rewards. The New York Jets and the New York Giants run on Dunkin'. Limit 1 per member per Monday. Additional terms may apply. Exclusions may apply. Participation may vary. Limited time offer.
The Weedsman Podcast.
ChristopherMedia.net.